Tonight, I'm gonna talk about some MMA fights in general. Just had a big fight the other day, Patty Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje, and that fight didn't go as planned for Patty. Yes, Patty's tough. I give him that. He's a tough dude. He's a tough dude. But sometimes tough is just sometimes tough isn't enough. Hey, I just rhymed. Sometimes tough isn't enough. Give me a second, y'all. So, so when y'all come in, please smash the like button. Show some love, okay? I'm gonna break down some fights for y'all. So when y'all come in, please smash the like button. Show some love, okay? I'm gonna break down some fights for y'all. So, give me a second. Give me a second. All right. We'll get some feedback. So we had the Justin Gaethje fight and the Patty Pimblett fight the other day, last week actually, and it didn't go as well. The fight went the whole 5 rounds, but it's safe to say that Patty Pimblett got his butt kicked. Okay, I think the score was I think it was 4-1 Justin as far as rounds go. I think Patty won 1 round for what it is. My thing is I don't understand fighters sometimes. Obviously, Justin Gaethje has a better stand up than Patty. Obviously, Patty supposed to be have the better groundwork than Justin, but Patty really didn't try to take him down that much. When I used to fight, I try to use my advantage. Right? I wasn't an expert in everything, but my motto is if I'm pretty good at striking, but I'm better on the ground. If I'm fighting for instance, a D1 wrestler, NCAA champion or something, I'm gonna try to keep it up. Because yes, I could wrestle here and there, but chances are he's better than me at wrestling. So, but chances are hopefully my hands are better than his hands. So I'm gonna keep it up. Vice versa. If I'm fighting this Muay Thai champion or boxer or just stand up guy, I'm gonna try to take him down. My point is you gotta use your advantage. Whatever advantage you have over your opponent, you have to use. Forget this ego thing, I'm a tough thing, Patty Pimblett got his butt kicked by Justin Gaethje because Patty Pimblett didn't want to take Justin down for some reason. Yeah, he has some attempts here and there, but my thing is, these fighters have to think. You got to think. You just can't go out there. What's up? What's up? It's human thing. Yeah, please. My thing is, you got to go out there as fighters. As I break down fights, I tell people, when I train fighters here and there, I tell them, man, you gotta be smart in the cage, be smart in the ring. Don't just go out there with no game plan. All right? Never fight with emotion. Never fight without a game plan. Okay? And use your strengths always. Whatever strength you have, if you're a grappler and a striker, let's say you well-rounded, but then your opponent is a D1 NCAA wrestling champion. Keep it up. Okay? And vice versa. If you're fighting a Muay Thai champion, boxing champ, take it to the ground. Patty Pimblett has a better groundwork than Justin Gaethje, but for some reason, he didn't want to take him down that much. Thank you. Nice story. Thank you. Yeah, and that's my thing. Oh yeah, please don't forget to subscribe also. But yeah, when I fight in the cage, I try to study my opponent. I watch videos of him just to see what he likes to do and not to do. What's his weakness or his strength. And I want fighters to think the same way. When you go in the cage, don't just go blind and just try to have a game plan. Have a game plan. I know it's easier said than done, but it's actually not that difficult if you follow the game plan. Okay? And look, I know it's not for everybody. Fighting isn't for everybody. I know that. Patty got stubborn. Yes, he did get stubborn because Patty should have took him down or at least attempt more takedowns. But see, Patty doesn't have good wrestling. That's the thing. Patty has good jiu-jitsu, but not good wrestling. What's going on, man? Big bro. Tapping in from Kansas City. What's up, Missouri? Okay, just showing love. Thanks for the love, man. Thanks for the love. Cody? Yes. Yes, man. Kansas City Chiefs, huh? That's what's up. But yeah, man, Patty Pimblett got stubborn. You know, Patty Pimblett supposedly has better jiu-jitsu than Justin Gaethje. So my thing is, why didn't Patty? I mean, you can't stand with if your striking isn't on point, you cannot stand with Justin Gaethje. And Justin Gaethje, one thing Justin Gaethje was doing the whole night was overhand right. And Patty Pimblett, you know, when Patty punches, his chin is in the air. So of course Justin Gaethje knew that. So Justin Gaethje was overhand right the whole night. And to Patty's credit, Patty never got knocked out. He got knocked down, but not knocked out. But yes, Patty looked tough. I get it. He was tough, and I get it. But he's trying to want to fight here. If you watch all my fights, even my Muay Thai fights, I don't get into brawls with people. I don't get into brawls because, in my opinion, if you just start swinging, anyone can get knocked out. If you watch my fights, I try to be technical. You know, I fight at 145 pounds, and I have a long reach. I have a super long reach. So if you watch all my fights, MMA and Muay Thai, I keep my distance. Keep my distance because I fight at distance. You never see a fight of mine where I'm just brawling in a phone booth. Not because I'm scared, because I'm smart. If you just throw haymakers, both of them throw haymakers, sock and rock and robots, to me, there's no technique in that. What's up, man? What's up? Who? Steven? Yeah. So that's my thing. Justin Gaethje, in my opinion, Justin Gaethje didn't even look his best and still handled Patty Pimblett pretty easy. Not easy, but God bless everyone. What's up, Daniel? We did that. Jesus. That's right, Daniel. God bless you too. But yeah, so I got friends, friends in the UFC, friends, what used to be Bellator, now it's PFL. I got all that stuff, and I train with a lot of high level fighters, and I learned, I learned how to judge distance. Okay, I sparred God knows how many times, 1,000 times maybe, and I learned how to judge distance. My advice to people who are fighting, you you number one rule in fighting is know where you are in space. You got to know where you are in space. Okay, you just can't go in there blind and just start swinging back and forth. To me, it's not really. I'm not a big fan of just going in there and brawling. Yes, it is good for the audience. It's a show, but at the end of the day, you're trying to win. You're trying to. There's the old motto. There's the old saying in boxing: hit and don't get hit. That's what I go by. Hit and don't get hit. Even in my Muay Thai fights, I don't get hit that much. Because I'm not going to brawl with you. I'm going to use tap, tap. Because I fight at 145, I'm about 5'9". Some of my opponents I'm taller than, and almost all of them I have a longer reach than them. So I can do the distance thing. This is the thing. But Patty Pimblett has a lot to learn. Is he ready for the upper echelons of fighters? I don't think so. Not right now. Is Patty mostly hype? Yeah, Patty can fight. Patty can fight, don't get me wrong. But his technique is not that good as far as striking, but his groundwork is good. Patty, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, Patty should work a lot on his wrestling takedown. One thing about jiu-jitsu guys, see, my first martial arts was jiu-jitsu, okay, groundwork. But I also wrestle. I never wrestled in high school or college, but I picked up on wrestling early in life when I started jiu-jitsu and judo also. My point is, most jiu-jitsu guys don't have good takedowns. So yes, even though you have good jiu-jitsu, if you can get the guy down, So Black Bay, go ahead. That's funny. But yeah, so most jiu-jitsu guys don't have good takedowns. It to me is mind-blowing to me because if you're good on the ground in jiu-jitsu, you would think you're gonna work on your takedowns, right? Now the black, high level black belts have certain techniques to take people down. But as far as straight up freestyle wrestling type of takedowns or this and that, most jiu-jitsu guys do not have that. And I think that's a big problem. Patty, do you have the that's the thing. These, Patty Pimblett. Justin Gaethje used to wrestle, but obviously he punches. Okay, my thing is, Paddy Pimblett, you can't use a normal takedown to try to take down Justin Gaethje, because even though Justin Gaethje isn't the best wrestler in the world, Justin Gaethje can wrestle a little bit. So Paddy Pimblett can come soft with these takedowns. Whoever fights Justin Gaethje, all right. If I was to fight Justin Gaethje, I'm not gonna try to stand with him. Yes, I got decent stand up, but Justin Gaethje wants to brawl. I'm not gonna brawl with no one. I'm gonna try to jab, 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 and take him down. Did you know that in all my MMA fights, I've taken all my opponents down, and I never got taken down? Okay, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to let people know that you gotta work on your takedown. I train with, I mean, Pablo Alfonso. I used to train with. You probably haven't heard of Pablo Alfonso, but back in the days, man, I'm talking about 2008, 2009, maybe. He taught me a lot of wrestling moves. He taught me a lot of wrestling moves, and I implicated that into my MMA and jiu-jitsu. What best has been to invest more time in judo or freestyle wrestling? The best out of judo and wrestling, I would probably say wrestling, only because judo takes a. I know a little judo too. Judo, in my opinion, judo takes longer to master. If that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying wrestling is easy by any means, but judo. If you're very good at judo, I'm talking about high level judo, you can take almost anybody down in an MMA fight. But with MMA fight, it's kind of tricky because there's no gi, this and that. There's been very few high level judo practitioners in the UFC. Carl Parisian was probably the first judoka guy, that took everybody down. So I would go more with freestyle wrestling, because freestyle wrestling, you can learn a lot of techniques. You can do a power double blast through. You can do a single leg. You can do a fireman's carry. You can do all that stuff. So I probably recommend freestyle wrestling more. No, man, don't vape. I don't vape. I don't vape. Nah. Believe it or not, chat. Believe it or not, no joke. I'm 52 years old. Yes, I'm 52 years old. I've never been drunk before. Never been drunk. I never smoked weed, and I don't smoke cigarettes, and I don't vape. Okay, I just don't. I'm not saying I was a good two shoes growing up, but I never been drunk before because I just don't drink. I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't vape. I don't do hookah. I don't do none of that stuff. That's just me. That's just me. At the same time, I don't judge nobody else who does that. I don't judge anybody. But me personally, I prefer not to do that stuff. There's a rule, I don't fight anymore. Now I'm an acupuncture physician, but there's a rule in medicine that if you don't have to put it in your body, don't put it in your body. Okay, so anyway, so no, I don't vape. But what I was saying before, I think wrestling is a good discipline to learn. I think no, let me back up. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I started doing that first, but then also incorporated wrestling a lot and some judo. Okay, judo is so I think wrestling is more important as far as takedowns. I won't say more important, but more effective, quicker, but still learn some judo, because with wrestling takedowns, there's something called chain wrestling. Okay, if you're going for a double leg, you don't get it. You go single leg. So chain wrestling is when you go for position after position after position. If you got some judo in there also, you could actually incorporate judo into your freestyle wrestling, if that makes sense. Okay, so I guess what I'm saying is, when you, even if you don't fight, if you just want to train wrestling or train, say jiu-jitsu, work on your takedowns. Work on your takedowns. Okay, that's very important. That's very important. Now, there's a new organization called the RAF, Real American Freestyle. It's like a big wrestling event that's on YouTube now, and it's going mainstream. I'm not going to lie to you, that looks fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm tempted to try to join that wrestling. It's called RAF, Real American Freestyle. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm tempting, to try to do that. because I absolutely love wrestling. I I love freestyle wrestling. I love going for takedowns and stuff like that. I just love combat sports in general. But it's called Real American Freestyle. It's called RAF. Okay, and that looks fun. That looks fun. It's a huge wrestling mat surrounded by audiences, whatever, and you could tell it's a good promotion. They have belts over there. They have belts of weight classes. Um, I love to do that. I've done dozens of grappling tournaments before, but one thing I haven't done yet is actually a wrestling tournament. I've done grappling tournaments, yes, but not a wrestling meet. Not a pure. I haven't done a pure freestyle wrestling competition yet. Uh, I've done grappling tournaments, which is basically jiu-jitsu and everything mixed together. I've done MMA, of course. I've done Muay Thai, but one thing about freestyle wrestling is that that's a whole different beast. Hey y'all, please don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. But yeah, so that's one thing I want to do also. Another thing I wanted to do was I'm talking to 18 people in the chat. Now 11. One thing I also thought about doing is bare knuckle fighting or dirty boxing. I just saw some fights in dirty boxing tonight. Oh, that looks brutal and looks fun. Um, so I don't know if I was to fight again, which I'm 52 years old, so technically I'm retired from fighting. But if I was to keep fighting, I'd probably do either bare knuckle or dirty boxing. You know, bare knuckle or dirty boxing. But speaking of martial arts, I got great news for y'all, chat. So I'm actually working on my own combat promotion. Okay, so more details coming soon. But this combat is kind of different from other combat sports. Okay, um, what kind of bunch of fights on this channel? Um, I, I post my fights on this channel. Cage fights, Muay Thai fights. Yeah. If you go to my video feed, I think it's under the playlist too, but I gotta check. But I got videos on the channel where I fight, where I break it down. Even in my past live streams, these videos of my fights. Yes. In 2005, I think it was six, I tried out for the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter Show season 5. Um, the trials was here in Miami, was in Hollywood, and I actually tried out for it. And I met Dana White, everybody, but I didn't make it. But it was still a fun experience. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to find a picture of me and Dana White. So I did try for the UFC, like I said. I did meet Dana White before. I met Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva wasn't there, but just in general, I trained with Anderson Silva, with Big Nog Nogueira, Little Nog Nogueira. Um, I train with a lot of people. I'm gonna try to find the picture with me and Dana White. You're gonna see how young Dana White looked. This was in 2005 and 6, I think. So give me a chance while I find it. But yeah, so that's my thing. So I don't fight anymore. I'm retired. I'm 52 years old. I keep saying that, but I still have the desire to. I still have the. I'm not gonna say drive to fight, but I love watching fights. Even in junior high school and high school, I used to love watching fights. I went to some inner city schools, quote unquote bad schools, and there was fights breaking out all the time. And I used to be right there watching them. You know, I'm obsessed with fighting. I really am actually. I don't know if it's a healthy thing, but yeah. So right now I'm looking for the picture between me and Dana White because I want to show y'all something. For some reason it's hard to find. But yeah, okay, it's coming up right now. Let's see. Yeah, so my thing is, hold on, y'all. Give me a chat. Give me a second chat. Man, this is really, yeah. So when I tried out for the UFC, it was pretty cool. There's about 250 people there trying out. Um, it was actually pretty amazing because I met the, I, you know, actually met met certain people. Okay. This me and Dana White right here, you chat. This me and Dana White. So yes, this is me. Obviously, it's me. Dana White. This was at UFC tryouts. Um, and I mean, in Hollywood, in Davie, Florida, at the Hard Rock. That's when they actually had tryouts down here in Miami, South Florida, I should say. I could say Miami. So what's cool about that is like I actually tried out in front of Dana White. It was, back then that's when the Ultimate Fighter TV show was on Spike TV. So Spike TV producers were there. Um, Dana White was there, and at the tryouts at that time you had to grapple in front of Dana White and the producers, and also strike in front of them. I was there all day. And finally around 4 o'clock, my name got called. So how it was, it's a huge mat, right? Huge mat, and all the producers and Dana White are on one side, and all the fighters and everybody else watching is around the mat. So you have to grapple in front of Dana White, and you know, and the guy I grappled. It was for 155 pounds. I was actually underweight, believe it or not. But I actually won my grappling fight. And Dana White. So this picture is when Dana White congratulated me. He goes, "Man, good job, good job, good job." You know, but I didn't get picked for the show. I didn't get picked for the show. This is the same season. Same season Nick Diaz was in. Season 5. Nate Diaz, Manny Gambarian, Corey Hill, may he rest in peace. Joe Lazon. Yes. This was this season, right? This season. So for those of y'all who watch The Ultimate Fighter, season 1, 2, 3, 4, all the seasons, if you watch season 5, this is the season I tried out for. And as you can see, that's me right there, Dana White chilling, like it's all good, right? Like it's all good. But you know what though? I'm not gonna lie. I still have fun. I wanted to make the show so bad. And what's crazy is this, chat. If I had got picked for the show, what's crazy was that I either was gonna be on Nate Diaz team or on the opposite team. Meaning that there was a slim chance, if I had got on the show, there's a slim chance that I probably would have fought Nate Diaz. Can you imagine? There's a chance that I could have fought Nate Diaz on the show. That would have been bananas. That would have been crazy, right? But that didn't happen. I didn't get picked, and it is what it is. It was still a great experience. It was definitely a great experience. It was definitely a great experience. But yeah, so that's what happened. So thank you for joining me, chat. I appreciate y'all. Be on the lookout for more content. I'm gonna see y'all later. Okay, peace.